So the big question in Australian politics at the moment, in the wake of the US trade war with Australia that kind of isn't really a trade war and probably won't actually happen, is will Kevin Rudd survive as the US ambassador? Will Anthony Albanese have to recall Kevin Rudd in order to appease Donald Trump and replace him with someone who hasn't done mean tweets about the president in the past?
This girl is the nastiest skank bitch I've ever met.
Well, the answer is no, and here is why. Firstly, that phone call that may just have saved Australia from the 25% tariff on our steel and aluminium exports to the United States was set up by Kevin Rudd.
Yo, Duque, pick up the phone!
Yo.
What's up?
Yes, believe it or not, that phone call was already scheduled, already been organised to take place before Trump even made the announcement. It just happened to be scheduled for 24 hours after Trump ended up making the announcement. It is the best timed phone call of all human history. This is a bit of a furphy, I think, that Donald Trump is harbouring some kind of long simmering resentment over Kevin Rudd tweeting mean stuff about him, way back in the past. Push comes to shove, if Donald Trump was never going to work with anyone who'd ever said anything mean about him in the past, there would be no one left. Rudd is working like a dog over there and doing a good job. So that's one reason. The other reason is that Albo and Rudd go way, 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 way back. Now, Albo was actually one of Rudd's chief lieutenants, arguably the most important person sticking by him when he got rolled by Julia Gillard in June 2010, on the night of my birthday, actually. But I'm working through it, and my therapist said I'm making really good progress. Anyway, so Albo sticks with Kevin Rudd, even though he knows that Rudd is going to lose that ballot. Of course, when Rudd eventually is drafted back into the leadership, he supports Rudd then. He gets made Deputy Prime Minister. Fast forward about 10 years later. Now, Anthony Albanese is the Prime Minister, but has he forgotten his little mate? No, he hasn't, because Albo's a loyal bloke. He's a good friend. He's also written a big book on China, which Albo has read and really, really likes. And he thinks, where can I put someone who knows the most about China and how to deal with it in a position with the country that is most capable of dealing with China? I'll make him US ambassador. And that means he'll be able to speak to a whole bunch of people who will be able to execute his ideas on China. He'll be a very trusted confidant, someone I can completely trust to be my eyes and ears on the ground in Washington. And best of all, it'll stop him from f***ing tweeting. If you like Joe Explains, well, guess what? Great news. I've also got a podcast. Yes, like everyone else in the actual universe, I have a podcast. The difference is that mine tells you absolutely everything that is going on in the world of media and politics, all the stuff that's happening behind the scenes that only I know because I've got a secret little pathway deep into the dark underbelly of what's making this country tick. So go to The Real Story with Joe Hildebrand, wherever you get your podcasts, and you too will be as wise and influential as I am.